Good morning, good morning, good morning. Obviously, I am not in my space, my normal yellow chair space. But even when I'm traveling, I'm very grateful that I can grab a camera, a little light, and my laptop and still make sure that I am here for you today. Now, when I came out here this morning, it was completely quiet. And a gentleman even asked me if I was streaming, and I said yes. And then all of a sudden, five more people came out, and it got a little louder. So it was either this or film in front of my bed in my room. Maybe that would have been better. So hopefully the sound from the background isn't too bad. I know that some of my inner circle girls are in the chat, and y'all can let me know if it's just completely terrible. But hopefully you can hear me loud and clear, and the background noise isn't too bad. So I am here for the third morning in a row to talk to you about the 5 P's of leadership. Now, before I get started with that, I want to let you know that there is a free download for you to grab. You can simply get it by going to crystalevanshurst.com / 5P leader. I'm going to put that on the screen real quick. crystalevanshurst.com. Let me change the color so that's easier to see. crystalevanshurst.com / 5P leader. Here we go. There. That'll be easier to see. Um, and you can go there. It's free. You put in your name, your email, you know the drill. And it's a one pager that will walk you through these same 5 P's that I've been discussing all week. And then I will continue to discuss as the week goes on. So I'll see you tomorrow morning, and I'll see you early Saturday morning in order to get in our leadership talk before the virtual walk on Saturday. So if you're here and you're joining in, because this is the beginning that'll be trimmed off when I finalize everything. We in the Sister Circle are having our first virtual walk run. So you go 1 mile, 2 miles, or 3 miles, and you do it with your Sister Circle. So you simply ask your girlfriends, hey, do you want to walk with me? It's a great way to kick off the summer because we're kicking off our exciting things in the inner circle, and we are wanting to make sure we provide an opportunity to you and your Sister Circle to do something really great together. So I want to make sure you have that link as well, because when you go to that link, you can enter your name and your email to get a guide that has the text you should send your girlfriends and a playlist that y'all should all listen to and the details for where to go and where to sign up and all the things. It's just how to make the event fun. So it's really important to me that you all have opportunities to connect with the people in your life that you want to be intentional about developing relationship with. And that's because you were never designed to live alone. You were never designed to move alone. And you were always designed to experience transparency and vulnerability and safety and the gift of being known in the community of women that you develop. And I have so many women that say, I don't have that. Well, guess what? You can be the first person who does that in your circle. And my job is to create content that helps you do that, and to also create ideas for how you can develop that. And this is an idea that we want every woman who is a woman of faith and who wants to live intentionally to do. So go to thesistercircle.com / virtual walk to sign up for it this Saturday morning, y'all. I'm going to go live at 7 a.m. so that we can get our walk on. Okay, enough of the preliminaries. I want to dive into what I want to talk about today. Let me get my notes in front of me. This is the part I'll trim off. If you're new here, because there's always somebody new here, it's always somebody's first Sunday. My name is Crystal Evans Hurst, and you are finding me today on the road. Normally, I am filming from a yellow chair, but today there is no yellow chair. But look at there. Look at there. There's a yellow curtain. God works in mysterious ways. But I have been here talking about the 5 P's of leadership. The reason why I've been doing that is because I have 2 cohorts every year, communicators cohort and a leaders cohort, and that's so that I can avail myself beyond general personal life coaching to answer some of the questions and to share some of the content that I have as a person in the communication space and in the leadership space. And so when I was marketing the cohort 2 weeks ago, I heard from many people that were like, this sounds great. I just can't afford it right now because y'all, we know money is stupid. And because my heart is to serve, I wanted to still come on and teach something that I thought would be of value and that would help you whether or not you join the cohort. We did extend the days for the cohort being open. The doors now close June the 23rd, and those who jump into the leaders cohort, you could just register. You don't have to apply. Anyone who wants additional, more personal, more direct access to me and my team, kind of to have the bat phone for direct one-on-one coaching and a small intimate group experience, you can apply for that kind of coaching once you're in the cohort. So the cohort comes first because everybody's got to learn the material. It's kind of like going to 101, but if you need personal tutoring, you can opt into that once you're in the cohort. So let me jump into the content for today. Today we're going to talk about people. Today we're going to talk about people. Because if you don't, hey Shauna B. Because if you don't understand that it's all about people, you don't understand. You don't understand what you're doing. So let me get my notes here and then we'll jump in. All right. Praise the Lord, saints. Praise the Lord. And I have my little dead cat mic because I left my, my big beautiful mic at the house in the studio. All right, here we go. Okay, so far we have talked about two of the P's of leadership that are important. Number one, your passion. You are the asset. Number two, your purpose. Your purpose is to get out in this world and make sure that you are serving and supporting people by solving their problems. Your purpose and your calling will always align with you serving people and solving their problems. Today I want to take a deeper dive in our talk about people, because without people, you cannot have your purpose. Without people, the passion of God won't be fully lit in you, because his desire is always to serve and love people. And he uses his people, even those in a leadership capacity, to do what he ultimately wants to do, which is to serve and love people. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about people today, since this is the heart of where it's at. Here's the question I want to ask you, if you're a leader or if you desire to grow in your leadership capacity. Do you know who you're really called to serve? Do you know? Are you just speaking to everybody? Because here's the thing. Once you know who you're called to serve, you ought to be able to identify what their pain points are, what their problems are. It's great for you to share your perspective. Listen, I'm out here every week, sometimes multiple times a week, sharing my perspective on things. But I lose sight of the matter if I forget that the goal of even me sharing my perspective is to serve people. So I always have to be asking myself constantly, who are the people that I'm called to serve? What is their pain point? What is their problem? And am I offering, as I share, solutions that solve the needs of people? Your greatest impact will not come from speaking to a crowd. Your greatest impact will come with connection to your core community and to the needs that they have. So one of the reasons why I have a membership, this is one of the ways that I have been developed as a leader, because in order to serve my inner circle membership, I have to know what that core community needs and wants. And believe you me, those inner circle girls let me know, and I ask them, what do they need? What do they need more of? How can we serve them well? But in order to serve an inner circle community of about 1,000 women, y'all, I can't do that on my own. I have to have a team. Over the years, that team has been developed with volunteers. It's been developed by people that have worked for way less than what they should have worked for, because they believed in the vision. And right now, I've got a team of 3. If I extend that to my core team, including my casual contractors, that's a team of like 8 to 10. If I extend that to all of my volunteers, it's a team of like 25 to 30. So a part of me being developed as a leader has come from making sure that I'm creating content that serves my core audience, which I always start first with my inner circle community. And then the second thing that has developed me as a leader is my leadership on my team. And y'all, listen, my team members will tell you, I love them, but being alongside of me growing as a leader may or may not have been a bumpy ride, because it takes time to learn. But what keeps coming back to me, and what God keeps bringing me back to, since he's my CEO and I'm simply the COO and maybe sometimes the creative director, the thing that keeps coming back to me is, Crystal, it's not just about you developing content. It's not just about you showing up as the talent or the brand. It's about you ministering, developing, teaching, growing the people I have given you to steward. First my inner circle, then the sister circle, and obviously, as I do that leading a team, the group of girls who sit in the office or get on Zoom calls with me every day, that I care about their development too. So you've got to have in mind, even if you get embellished with the project, and even if you're like me, a geeky girl who loves the tech. Listen, I love the tech, and I love making stuff up and throwing planes out and jumping out of planes and, building the airplane in the air. That's the kind of leader I am. Drives my team crazy. But I also have to keep in mind that the reason why I'm doing all those things is not just so my geeky girl itch can get scratched, or so that I can create bigger and better things, or even so that I can make a dollar or turn a profit. It's because I am speaking to, helping, teaching, ministering to people. So you've got to figure out, how do you minister to the people? Here's the 3 points I want to give you. Number one, you want to start with the woman or the person, depending on your audience, who you used to be. Because the person whose problem you will know the best are the problems you know firsthand. So even when I wrote my first book, She's Still There, it was in mind. What would the girl that is 30 want to know from me that I needed to know or learned when I was 30? That's the whole premise of that book. The next book I'm working on is the woman who knows all that and is still stuck, because I knew a lot of things and was still stuck in self-deprecation, still stuck in embarrassment, still stuck in shame, still stuck in the need to give myself grace. And so there's a whole book that I've been working on now for 1,000,000 years that's coming out. Why? Because I know the need of that woman. And I have got like 2 or 3 other books brewing in my head for the problems I've needed to solve for myself. The whole reason why I have had a communicators cohort, and while I'll be launching the next cohort for leaders, is because guess what? I had to learn to show up as a content creator and a communicator from a podcaster who podcasted for audio only because nobody wanted to get dressed for 5 years, and then flipped the switch to video, and then grew my channel to almost now 120,000 subscribers. I had to learn, what does it take to put out a good message, and to have a system to put out that message week after week after week for y'all almost now 11 years. The leadership cohort, it's born out of, what did I need to know? How have I grown? What have I learned about vision casting and strategy development and leading a team and leading with clear vision and building a brand that has a clear strategy and executing on that strategy so that people will contribute, support, or buy a product so that I can continue to do this. Y'all, the reason why there is content week after week after week produced, I can go live to my inner circle every Monday and never put out a public podcast on YouTube. But the reason why that exists is because I have a membership who supports the work that I do. And the girls get it. They get something in exchange more from me in the inner circle than everybody else gets, but they also know that they make it possible for me to bless and share and minister to other people. In order for me to do all that, y'all, and to lead in those capacities, I've had to start with the problems I've had. So who is your person? Often she's the woman or the people that you have had to be. The clearest path to your people is often the path that you had to traverse in your path. In your past, the clearest path to your people is often your own past. So get out your old journals and get out your photos and your phone book. And where were you 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago? I bet you have something to say to the person that's behind you. This is nothing more in detailed than discipleship. Where you have been, be willing to lead someone else. So think about the version of you who was stuck, the version of you who was searching. Think about the version of you who needs now what you needed then. That's where your voice will have authority. That's where your wisdom will have weight. So, when you think about the scriptures, even 2 Corinthians 1:4, it says, He comforts us in all of our troubles so that, what? We can comfort others. Give to others what God has given you. Give to others what someone else has given you, because He's going to use you to lead in the spaces where you have authority. And where do you have authority? On the paths you've already passed through. So the first thing is, make sure you start with the woman that you used to be. The second thing is, find the real problem your people are facing. Well, how can you do that? One, you need to have empathy, because it will unlock always an effective level of leadership. You can lead best where you feel most deeply the pain point of the people that you're serving. But you can't make assumptions, okay? And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They just start throwing up content, or they just put information in a book, or they just, show up on a stage with a talk you feel like you need to give. Do you know your audience? You got to pay attention. What do they need? How do they respond to you on social media? What do they say when you tell them to hit reply in an email? What do they say if you do a speaking engagement somewhere and they come up to you afterwards to talk to you? What feedback are people giving you? And you've got to read between the lines in their comments. What are they saying and what is the real need? And you want to get specific about you want to get specific about their real life struggles so that you can meet them. The key thing is to remember you're not here to impress anybody, you're here to serve them. And the only way that you can serve them well is to know exactly where they need to be served. So it's so important that you are constantly asking your audience, how can I serve you? You can do this with surveys. You can do this with a question in an email. You can do this here live. Hey, I'd love for you to let me know in the live chat, or if you're watching the replay, how could I serve you as a leader? I'm going to look at what you say and take your feedback. Constantly be asking that question. So when I look at coaching women leaders, the favorite part that I have, which is why I offer more personal coaching, even for those that join the cohort, is because sometimes we think we know what it is that we're here to do. And y'all, a lot of times we don't, because we're not honest about where we've been stuck. We want to play it safe in the space where we can be the expert, but we're not willing to dig down into the place where we had a problem. And that's where you actually have your greatest expertise. So when I'm coaching women leaders, a lot of the one-on-one coaching and a lot of the small group coaching is with me digging in to ask questions to uncover what you may or may not have been up to now willing to share. It's my favorite part, actually, is asking questions, because I love being able to look at the emotional, practical, and even spiritual needs of the leader, so we can look at the emotional, practical, and spiritual needs of their audience. It's all about how you use language to describe who you are and how you serve. Colossians 4:5 says you want to be wise in the way that you speak, and a part of being sprinkled with wisdom is that speech being sprinkled with honesty and truth. It's all about trust, and you gain trust once you show empathy, and you can have empathy once you're clear on where your pain points are as a leader. The first thing, again, is make sure that you know the woman who you used to be and serve her. The second thing is find the real problem your people are facing and be honest about solving it based on your experience. And the third thing is, and this is so important, don't just serve with information, serve with transformation. Don't just serve with inspiration, serve with transformation. You need solutions. So don't just give a bunch of content to women. Tell them, teach them how this content, how you're teaching, how you're coaching will change their lives. What's the bottom line? Why should somebody follow you? Why should somebody take your plans? Why should somebody take your course? Why should somebody listen to you on social media? What solution are you providing? Because your people need more than feel-good content. They need transformation, and that transformation will come with clear, targeted solutions. So ask yourself, what transformation can I create? What step-by-step solution can I walk them through? And what outcome can they expect from working with me or following my leadership? You're not called to impress people. You're called to move them from where they are to where they're meant to be. If a person is overwhelmed with motherhood, don't just tell them, you've got this. Instead, offer a framework for managing routines, a weekly prayer guide for peace, or coaching calls to focus on mindset. This is how you move from motivational to meaningful, because faith, y'all, without works is dead. I need to know not just what I'm supposed to believe, but what I'm supposed to do because I believe it. Your leadership should not only inspire belief, it should provide a path forward. Now, if you're here and you love what I'm teaching and you want more of this, and not just more of this information, but also transformation, I encourage you to take a look at my cohort. My cohort doors are still open until June the 23rd, and I'm really excited about it because we have up-leveled with feedback that we've received from previous cohort people. Not only will you receive information about how to grow as a leader, but you will also finish this program with a completed strategy plan for your business and or a strategic strategy plan for yourself. Because if you don't have a plan, the Bible says the people will perish. You can learn more about the cohort by going to crystalevanshurst.com/cohort. cohort. That's crystalevanshurst.com/cohort. Now, I realize that everybody here may not be able to jump into the deep end with me for leadership, and that's okay. I want to make sure that you understand that the cohort is my professional level of services. The cohort and the coaching opportunity that's available with that, because I've got a group of people that I serve, women of faith who want to live life intentionally. That's my inner circle. And then I've got women who say, Crystal, but I really just need you to tell me how to have a business plan, how to hire, how to fire, how to market, how to have a clear vision and strategy. And that's where the cohort comes in. So if you need leadership coaching, if you want a community of women who are going to go in deep with you, learning how to be a better leader, check out the cohort. If you're a woman who's like, well, I don't necessarily need that, but Crystal, I love hearing from you, then I want to encourage you to jump into the inner circle, because that's the group where every week I'm showing up, making sure that these girls know how to live life well. And last thing, if you don't want to do any of that, I hope you decide to join me for my virtual walk on Saturday. It's free. I'm giving you a guide, a playlist, and we're going to get with all the girls and go for a walk on Saturday morning. Why? Because we're better together. I'm going to turn on my beautiful music, because this is my favorite part of the day, just to get you going and make sure that you are feeling good about yourself and about the day that's coming. All right? So here's the music. You hear the music? It's the best part. And this is the thought I want to leave you with. Your leadership can come out of the girl you used to be. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to know everything. You just need to have decided that you're willing to share what you know and show others the way who are maybe a little bit behind you in the journey. All right, y'all, this is me signing off. I will see you in the morning, because it's that time every morning for me to talk to you about the 5 P's of leadership. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.